Welcome to the Mesozoic Media Park. The goal for this park is to just have all kinds of references to dinosaur movies, shows, documentaries, video games, you name it. Today, we will be continuing The Land Before Time with the Sharp-Tooth enclosure. This is going to be really fun. Yeah, so obviously I already made the Great Valley over here with our whole Land Before Time cast. They're all kind of like walking around somewhere. They are in here. Rest assured, they are in here. But today, I want to utilize this space right here to make a little Sharp-Tooth exhibit. It's meant to represent the mysterious beyond. Here's what I'm going to be basing it off of, this shot right here. So I think it's going to be really fun because we can really take advantage of all of the new building tools that we have in this game and make something that's really quite awesome. So first of all, one of the things you'll notice is there is at least a decent amount of liquid in here. That is definitely way too clear, so I'm going to have to clear that out. But yeah, so realistically, what I could probably do is utilize, instead, we'll probably just use some deep water instead of using the shallow water. That way it kind of looks a little bit more terrifying and mysterious. It's still not quite what I want. Kind of like this. I want this to be a little bit of like the centerpiece. And then in terms of the vegetation, all we have to do is just do this to get rid of it. The Mysterious Beyond is a pretty nasty place. There's like not a lot of life that grows here. So in order to represent that properly, we are certainly going to have to just kind of fill it up with all kinds of dirt and rock instead of, all of this grass and all of this other vegetation that we have. Some cliff would probably work too. Don't know if I like that one specifically. What about this rock? Kind of like that. It's mostly dirt, though. It's mostly dirt in the movie. Most of the time when they're walking around in the Mysterious Beyond, they mostly do see dirt. So I could put down some stuff like this, actually. Some groundwater. That might make it look a little bit worse for wear. It looks kind of chalky right now. That's not really what I want. So I think I'm gonna have more of an emphasis on the dirt. But see, my problem with the dirt is the fact that you can see some greenery in there. That's not realistically what I want. But that might be the best of what I could do, really. I think the biggest focal point on this enclosure, much like everything else I've been building, I think it's going to be the rocks. Like, there's a lot of spiky rocks all over the place in the Land Before Time, and there are a lot of like sandy environments. So I guess this isn't too far off. What does the sand look like? See, that's way too. What about the beach? How's the beach? Ew, no, there's no way. Cliff, and of course, and then groundwater. Yeah, so that might be the best I can realistically do. I just wish that you could have all of the paintbrushes on every single map. I don't know why that's still not the case. It's a little bit frustrating, but it's fine. It's completely fine. Anyway, the absolute biggest centerpiece is, of course, going to be that T-Rex skull that you see up there. So we have to make sure that we build that with at least a little bit of accuracy. So in order to do that, we need to make some rocks. We need to get some trees, some dead trees to be more specific. We're going to make it look cool. So I can have like a sloped rock like this, right? And then here, let's get the skeleton real quick and let's see if we can work with this. This is where modular building really does come in handy. Although the skeleton is not nearly as big as I thought it would be, and it's not going to become too much bigger. It's not a crazy size, but it might still work. So like maybe if I place it, it's already like at the correct angle basically. So like maybe if we have it like that, right? And then we get more rocks. Kind of make it like this, I suppose. Sure, but I might have to... Let's go ahead and angle this a little bit better. Because try to hide the tail. Well, I guess I don't have to use that. Let's just go ahead and... Instead of using that, we'll just go ahead and grab a skull. Besides it... Well, yeah, we'll just grab the full skull. That way we don't have to deal with the tail. This is like the better option right here. Oh, it's so tiny. Shoot. That's like a little bit frustrating. I really wish we could make it a little bit bigger too. Like that. And then what we can do is we can get a rib cage. Okay, we might have to get some different rocks entirely because I think these rocks are not really working. We need a smaller rock to actually emphasize what we're trying to do here. In fact, this one by itself probably works pretty good. Like, how about if we raise it a little bit, like that, and then we go ahead and grab this. We can go and move you, kind of like that, and then it has like all kinds of moss and stuff like that kind of coming off of it. So we could probably use that to kind of like that, right? And then we can have like a little bit more like this. And I know this is greenery. We don't necessarily want greenery, but it kind of gives it a nice kind of like jagged appearance, I suppose. I think we still need, at the very least, we could probably make this rock a little bit smaller. Because again, I don't really want like a huge rock to be taken away from the focal point, which is meant to be the skeleton. So instead, maybe we'll do it like that. That looks better. I think that looks better. I think that's what we'll go with. And of course, there's like some dead trees and stuff like that that we can place in here. Fortunately, we get dead trees. There's also what appears to be, I don't know if this is what this is, but it kind of looks like a stegosaurus, like a stegosaurus skeleton back there. We could probably include that too, except we don't quite have stegosaurus in the game. There's no stegosaurus statue. There is, however, Alamosaurus, and we could probably just include, or well, we don't even need any specific dinosaur to be emphasized here. We could just simply, actually, why don't we just do a little fun little thing and just include Spinosaurus here instead. I like the emphasis of all the bones all over the place, though. I think, and there's quite a few bones here now that I'm really looking at this image too. I like the emphasis of bones and the mysterious beyond. It really makes it creepy. The later movies definitely did not do this. Like they definitely didn't do all of this. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Let me figure out where I'm putting the rest of the rocks too. I think that's probably a little bit important. Kind of like this. I really mostly want jagged rocks all over the place. That's my main goal here. I just want this place to look like really welcoming and just really unforgiving. If I can achieve that, then I would have achieved my goal. Now, again, one of my main goals of this park is to make it seem like this is an actual park. That's something that I didn't really emphasize my last attempt. So take, for example, right here, we're going to really be using like actual fence and stuff to keep the sharp tooth in, because sharp tooth is kind of a dangerous critter. You know, it's a little bit on the mean side. So having like high-end electrical fencing kind of makes a little bit more sense for a creature like that, as opposed to like the Land Before Time cast, where they certainly didn't need that. Okay, then I also decided to add some of these rocks. For one, I think it would look kind of cool. I mean, I need to clean it up a little bit, but we'll have like a pathway go through to here, and then we can make it so that, I know it's not the same color, but this color kind of matches the mysterious beyond a little bit more. We can have all of these rocks kind of over here, and that's also a part of the enclosure. There we go. Kind of like that, I guess. It's looking kind of cool. Certainly looking really interesting. And then I feel like we need like a lot of dead trees, mainly because of this shot right here, where you just have a lot of dead trees. So I can kind of fill in like maybe this area over here, make this section dedicated to dead trees, I suppose. I think that could look pretty cool. And also I'm going to add a few more rocks just to kind of make it all just kind of flow a little bit better. We have like a little place for them to walk up here. And then again, we'll have a whole bunch of dead trees over here. And we get some bones down here too, like a little bit of a rib cage, or spine over there. Spine with a rib cage over here a little bit. What else do I really want to do? More rocks, I think. I think more rocks could possibly work. Okay, this is what it looks like, and that's not too terrible. Like, especially when you look at it from this angle right here, you can definitely see, the nice reference to the thing. Like, you can see the nice kind of skeleton over there that you can see in Land Before Time, and I feel like most of this would look better at night, which is exactly the same. Like the exact shot that I'm looking at, of course, it takes place at night. So I wonder how this looks. It's not bad. Still a little bit too green, if you ask me, but I think it's a nice reference. But I think that I have no choice but to go with the green, because the other options that we had, I think they just had some strange colors. So I think that going with the roots, I think, was a better option. But yeah, let's go ahead and get our sharp tooth in here. And this is what the main view looks like. You can't even really see the T-Rex for the most part, But once you get to the viewing platform, you should be able to see old Sharptooth in its glory. There he is, walking around. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Let's let's kind of do this. There you go. But yeah, no, you can make a pretty decent looking Sharptooth in this. Just a nice kind of green coloration, maybe with a little bit of black, and it looks pretty good. Like, it looks pretty darn close. I mean, I wanted to add the black because I think it looks pretty sick. Yeah, but that is the Great Beyond right here. Not quite how I wanted it to turn out. Like, unfortunately, there's still a few limitations in terms of some of the brushes and stuff like that. And obviously, I wish that I could make this stuff a little bit bigger. That way, it stands out a bit more. Of course, I could always have it closer to the the main viewing area. But I also wanted to have this large exhibit, and I wanted the line of sight to be down over here. And it doesn't look bad. It definitely all looks like a bit jagged, and it still kind of looks like an enclosure, which is obviously the main goal. I still want them to feel like they are potentially enclosures. Like, I didn't want the Great Valley to be like this huge expansive thing that takes up half of the map, because realistically that's probably how it would be. Instead, I wanted to make it look like it was still made as an enclosure, so you have a little bit more containment here with all of the characters, while simultaneously giving you a way to kind of like view them over here and interact with them, as well as the viewing platform up here. That was like my main goal when going into this. And the same goes for the Sharptooth. Like, I didn't want to make this enclosure too big, and I still wanted it to feel like it was designed as an enclosure. Like, we have like the different levels up here. There's a ramp basically for the T-Rex to get up, and things are still a little bit... Yes, things are still a little bit more contained, and it still has some room to move around. It looks like I kind of messed up over here a little bit. I'll fix that. It's not like the biggest deal right now, but before we actually finish up the park, I'll make sure a lot of that is a little bit more level. But yeah, that is the Sharptooth enclosure. I might add a little bit more to it, like maybe some more rock formations towards the back. That way it has a nice little backdrop. But for now, I think it looks pretty darn good. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you on board. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day from the Sharptooth.